they've got a schedule that they know that they've got it in them to ride at, so they're riding a very disciplined race. I mean, Finn sat on 16.6 second laps there, and he'll be riding those like a metronome today.
You can see the difference now, about 3 seconds separating the two, so Finn Graham is in the lead. We're inside the final 2 laps now.
Yeah, Finn's just slowed up ever so slightly, but he's still 16.8, still going to put a really good time together here. And Jacko's dropped off a little bit, but again, super solid.
There goes the bell for Finn Graham. Final lap of this pursuit, and he might just about have Jacco van Gas in his sights. There's quite a difference between these 2 riders now, but the world champion for the C3 category, individual pursuit, comes to the line.
Absolutely.
Applause from the crowd.
Great ride. 1 and 2 in the world there. And yeah, what? 3:23. What do you reckon of that for 3 kilometres?
I was never that fast, so I'm very, very impressed.
No, I think, yeah, it's pretty quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially in Manchester.
I believe it was a 3:19 he rode at the World Championships in the final.
Yeah, he loves the crowd. Finn, any opportunity to wave to the crowd. There he is.
Yeah, we're just seeing replays on the screen at the moment, but here in the Velodrome, we've just seen Finn making full opportunity to celebrate here, acknowledging the crowd. Just see him riding up the track now.
Yeah, and you can see the difference between those guys and the rest of the guys in the category. There's a full 13 seconds between Jacko and Jacob in 3rd place, so it's they're a league above, really.
Confirmation on the screen there of the standings of the men's individual pursuit para C3. That concludes the C3 riders, the 6 riders there, with world champion Finn Graham also now taking the national title. So we carry on with individual pursuiting. Now it is the turn of the para C4 to 5 category. So we have 6 more heats coming up. We're now up to the 4 kilometre distance though.
So interesting ones in here. Archie Atkinson, as a C4 rider, he's got quicker and quicker and quicker. I'd be surprised if he's not challenging for maybe a national record here, because he's quick and he's getting quicker all the time. And then Bergie in the last heat as well is going to be interesting, see what he does.
Certainly will. So this is going to be a factor competition because we've got C4 and C5 riders together. So 100% of the time for the C5 riders will stand, but for the C4 riders, they'll be factored by 98.91%, which I'm not going to do in my head. I will have somebody tell me the answer to that quick bit of maths. So the first 2 heats are C4 riders, and then we'll move on to the C5 riders. So the C5 riders will have seen what the C4s have done. They'll have probably heard from the in-venue announcer what that factored equivalent is, so they'll know what they need to try and beat.
I don't think the factor difference is huge between 4s and 5s now, because again, some of the 4s at world level are so quick. But I think Archie might be the quickest here. So he's a C4 rider, but he's I believe he's absolutely flying. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can put down here. Another young rider that came onto the British cycling team in the last year or so, well, also in the last couple of years, and he's really going from strength to strength.
Well, I remember well Archie winning the scratch race at the World Championships in Glasgow, and I think he was right up there for a prize for best celebration as well. The emotion afterwards, so very much enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's first met him in a cafe a few years ago, and he one of those sort of came over as a kid and said, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be world champion, I'm going to, it's fair play to him. He's done what he said he was going to do. Yeah.
So we got the bronze medal yesterday in the kilo. None other than Jody Cundy taking the win there.
Yeah, I think he did 107 kilo yesterday, so he's got plenty of top end. And he's more of an endurance rider, so that's it bodes well for today, definitely. Got Blaine Hunt will be interesting today as well. He's more of a sprinter, but he's got a good ride in him.
Got a little bit of a delay here. This is rider number 52, Wayne Harrod, who we've just seen in the start gate, just coming off his bike there now. So we've got a slight delay because I believe we've got an issue with the timing system. There's Archie Atkinson, who we were just talking about. He'll be up in heat number 2. So I always think these are the moments that really make the huge difference between doing this sort of effort in training versus in competition. Because in training, you get up on the track, do your efforts, job done. In competition, there can be these delays, timing issues, gate issues, and you've done all your warm up, but then suddenly you need to wait, and the nerves can creep in, and that's what you can't really replicate.
Absolutely, it's really tricky, isn't it? I know everyone's different when they sat there, and what's going through their mind. But one thing's for sure is your mind's sort of racing, really, isn't it, before a race, and you really want to get up there and get going. Is managing your performance and making sure you can stay calm. This is where you can make mistakes, and like you say, in terms of your pacing and stuff like that, you've got your race in your mind, and you're probably thinking, right, I'll go off, at a certain pace and everything else. But if you're not careful, your adrenaline can get the better of you when you're sat in that chair for too long.
I always think it's the moments where you start to ask yourself questions like, have I picked the right gear? Shall I change my gear? Is the track running fast?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, someone else has done a fast time. I might change my gear. Oh no, I might change it back the other way.
Yeah.
And this is not a good moment to make those sort of decisions because, like you say, adrenaline, emotion.
No, absolutely. I think the other thing is that these big races as well. You can have a long time to prepare for them, but when the day comes, all of a sudden it's come along very quickly, hasn't it? So there's a lot going through your mind, and it can be emotions as well can be sort of running quite high at the same time. So it can get frustrating if you're made to wait as well, can't it?
The contrast here is fascinating. As we we're just saying about these moments sat in the chair. Archie, very animated. Of course, he's not in this first heat, so he's got the luxury of time compared to Wayne Harrod, who is going to be up in the first heat.
Yeah, I think Archie's full of confidence as well. And he's got John, his coach, there, and that'll be giving him a bit of comfort there that he's got. He can always have a chat with John if he wants to talk about anything. Very experienced coach there, John, with his bald head.
And how much will the coach's role be trying to keep the riders calm in these situations? Obviously, a lot of coaching is about the physiology and the training, but there's the head as well as the legs on race day. How much will a coach have that involvement?
I think with the likes of John, he's very experienced, and he'll be tailoring his coaching to the individual riders. He'll know them as people and know what they need, because, a lot of riders are very nervous. Some are a bit more jovial. What he will have, though, is everything will be prepared. So, the timings for warm-ups will be there. Everything will have been done correctly up until the start of the race. And there'll be a schedule there that the riders will ride to, and John will be there for Archie in the corner with probably with the iPad out showing him his lap split. So they'll have worked out a strategy there, and depending on how quick the velodrome's running today, there'll be a pacing strategy in place for Archie. So he'll be able to rely on really sort of getting on his bike and doing what they've worked out, executing the plan really. And I think that makes it a lot easier when you have got a solid plan for what you're going to put out on the track in terms of, how you're going to start. You've already done your warm-up, and it's the warm-up you've done usually in training. You're used to the kit, you're used to the place. I mean, it's the other thing for the guys in the British cycling team. It's really nice for them to be able to race on a home track. So this is where they train, and it's always nice racing on your you know, where you ride week in, week out as well. So that's definitely gives you an edge as well in this environment.
We're waiting for an update on the timing system, but we've just seen the officials come out to the start gate and stand on the gate as they do before the start. So I believe that is a good sign. Yes, and Wayne Howard has been given an indication to get up and come and get on his bike there. So thank you for that insight there. Always very interesting to chat about the training these riders are doing and also the race day strategies. So it looks like our timing equipment is good and ready to go. Wayne Howard just getting on the bike here. And we will have our first heat of the men's individual pursuit for para C4 to 5, which will be the 4 kilometre distance. We've had 3 kilometres for the C1, 2 and 3 men, but up to 4 kilometres now.
I always think it does change things to put another kilometre on the end. You know, the pacing is probably more important over this distance.
And we're underway, and as you said, an extra kilometre here. So 16 laps of racing rather than 12. I was thinking in a 3 kilometre pursuit, first kilo, get up to pace, settle, middle kilo, squeeze and hold, final kilo, empty the tank. Whole 4th extra kilo, though, in this 4K pursuit, so pacing very different, as you were saying, and you were indicating as well, the early pace, even more crucial, because if you go out too fast here, it's going to all unravel really quite badly.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking before about whether it's easier to be on track with another rider on the other side and race another rider, or whether, you know, whether you want to be, whether it's easier on your own. I think it's particularly tough if you are on the track on your own and you've got this full sort of 4 kilometre distance to do. So to split the race up almost into sections definitely helps. I think the first couple of laps getting up to speed, and then that middle section of just holding your position, holding your pace, sticking with the splits, and then really pushing on over the end, you know, towards the end of the race, the last kilometre.
I don't think we have a coach on the track for this heat giving any lap splits.
No.
Unless anybody's hiding that I can't see.
No, he's on his own.
So quite a lonely ride out there on your own, all about pace judgment, feeling that pace. Of course, on track bikes, we don't have any form of computer. We don't, that is visible. You know, we can't see our speed, our cadence, our heart rate, our power, any of that data that you'll have when you're racing on the road. So very much the challenge of learning to pace yourself and doing those efforts in training and feeling what those lap splits feel like.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough as well. He looks like he's running quite a big gear as well there, so that'll towards the back end of the race, that's gonna, you know, he's gonna feel that.
So we're coming around for 10 laps to go this time. So 6 laps completed. So this is this middle section of the race that you're talking about, where you're far too far from the end to start thinking about really turning yourself inside out. But it's that hold through the middle, isn't it? That keep squeezing, keep the pressure on the pedals. Can't let that momentum go, but far too early to really empty yourself.
Absolutely, and the laps feel like a long time at this point as well. You know, this is where, you know, you get going at the start of the race, you're on adrenaline really, and you don't feel it, but at this part of the race you're really feeling it, and you know, to keep your mind on the task at hand rather than having it wander off is really important.
Did you keep your eye on the lap board, or did you try not to look at it for as many laps as possible?
It's tricky, isn't it? I think you can get trying to be disciplined not to look up and look at the lap board is tricky, but I think you do want to keep half an eye as well as to where you're at, because it can feel, especially over 16 laps, you don't want to squeeze on too much, thinking you've only got 4 laps to go when you've got 6 laps to go or whatever. So it's I think it's important to know where you are in the race, but at the same time you don't want to suffer from putting your head up and looking at the board and either sort of moving off the black line or slowing yourself down. This is tough though, without any lap splits or any reference there. This is a hard ride, and without anyone to race against as well. It's it's a tough one for Wayne here.
It's purely feeling your way through this 4 kilometres, these 60 laps, and No, world of pain with absolutely no reference. All you've got is that lap board to know how many laps you've got to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to always count the laps in my head, so I knew what lap I was on. Then I would look up every now and again to check.
Did you? Yeah, I was going to say you start second guessing yourself then, don't you? And think, am I? Yeah, exactly. I've done that loads. That's the thing. You're confident in your head, and then you start to doubt yourself whether you are on the. Yeah. So.
The thoughts that go through your head during a pursuit are
that's what I was going to say.
It's a dark place.
Well, it is, or you can find yourself thinking about something that's got no relevance, and you really need to get your mind back on. Yeah. Your mind's going somewhere else. But it's a painful place. I mean, this is tough now. Where he's at this far in the race, this is it's tough stuff.
So coming around this time, with 3 laps to go. So very much in that final kilometre now.
Yeah, it's a long race. This 5 minutes there of real hard effort. That's why I was looking nervous at the start, because he knew what was to come. Yeah.
So it'll be 2 laps to go this time. Getting a lot of support from the crowd now. Lonely race up there. Solo individual pursuit heat. Yeah, no one to race against.
The bell's going to be music to his ears now.
A lap and a half to go now. Someone get ready with that bell. He'll be very happy to hear it. There we go. Yeah, we will be inside the 6 minutes, but well into the 5 minutes for this final time. Half a lap to go this time. Still trying to take the shortest route around for this final lap, just dipping under that black line nicely. Time will be taken this time over the line. And it's a 4:39.750.
5:39.
5:30. Yeah. Sorry, I've just taken a whole minute off there.
Just made him really quick. I think the sort of 4:30s will be where the top guys will be today. Yeah. Potentially low 4:30s or even into the 4:20s.
So I've just heard the factor time for Wayne Harrod here will be a 5:36.047. So as you indicated, the difference between C4 and C5 that we've seen at World Championships is quite small, so the factors time aren't a huge difference between them. So it's a 98.91% for the C4 riders, the factor time compared to the C5s.
Yeah, the good C4 riders at world level there's very little in it between the 4s and the 5s. Quite often the 4s will beat the 5s. I think that might be the case today with potentially with Archie as well.
Seeing the back straight here, Nicholas Fairfield from City RC, and the home straight here, Archie Atkinson representing Parity. So as you mentioned, really exciting young rider, very confident rider, but delivering the results. World title back in the summer in Glasgow, and big year ahead for him.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a couple of riders at world level that have been at the top for a long time, and Archie's coming after him, particularly in the pursuit. So it'd be great to see how he rides today.
Out of that gate and we're underway. So our early time was a 5:39.750 from Wayne Harrod, but we're expecting to be in the 4s this time, aren't we?
Yeah, I think low 4:30s would be a really good ride from Archie. I think anything sub 4:35 is going to put him right on the trajectory he wants to be for the World Championships. I mean, he's already there.
The difference in pace. We're going to get this lovely wide shot now, and you can see less than 2 laps in, the speed of Archie Atkinson out of that start gate. He is chasing down Nicholas Fairfield.
Hopefully this pass doesn't slow him down. It could work out really well for him, this catch so early on, as long as he can get round Nicholas without too much fuss.
Yep, so this is what we want now, a nice smooth catch over down the home straight, not in the bankings, back down to the fastest route, the shortest route around the track in the bankings.
So he's similar pace to Finn there, 16.7. lap time. So yeah, he's, if he can keep that up, it's going to be a rapid time today.
So I'm expecting
16-1. Yeah,
another catch
quicker
to happen, of course. We've got both riders will need to complete the full 4-kilometre distance, so we could see Atkinson make another catch. But as you say, for now, looking at his lap splits, we've got his coach here with the iPad in the home straight. We can just see this from our position where we're sat.
16-3. So he needs to settle into his pace, and he's obviously got his target splits there. I think he went a little bit over, and he's kind of relaxed onto the pace he was looking to actually ride at there. The catch slowed him down that lap ever so slightly. So now he's on 16-2. So yeah, this is quick. This is really quick. If he can sit on this now, he's going to be really quick.
Certainly is. So he's going to come around and see 9 laps to go this time. So we're not quite at the halfway point.
16-3, yeah, he's quick. So yeah, world levels guy, Joseph Metelka, who's won this event for years. I think Archie's very much coming after him in terms of his performance here, because he's really he's matured massively in terms of his performance in this event. He's only getting quicker.
Certainly is, and holding a really good position here, holding that black line, as you said, slightly slowed down by that catch, but that probably helped him just measure that effort and just rein it in ever so slightly. He's gone past the halfway point now.
Still sat on 16.5-second laps. He's got another catch coming. Be interested to see what he goes through 3K in compared to the likes of Finn. If he can go through in a similar kind of time to Finn and then sit on that to the end, this is going to be a really good performance.
So our second catch coming up now for Archie Atkinson. Having to go round in the banking this time, but very quickly round. Just staying slightly high there, but now dipping right back down to the black line again, taking the shortest line round the track. Very much inside the second half of the race now, already 2 catches in this pursuit.
16.8 there, so that catch slowed him down ever slightly again, but still pushing on here. And we're going through 3K there in 3:25, so ever so slightly slower than Finn did his 3K, but he's got 4 more laps to do. So if you can see out this last kilo, we should be in the low 4:30s, so that's
as you predicted.
See what he can do here.
Yeah. Keep going, Archie Atkinson.
Decent.
So still holding under that 17-second lap, but inside the final kilo now. Don't think we're going to see another catch. He has had the treat of having 2 catches. Still we power on there.
Still under 17 seconds a lap with a couple to go.
This is it. Final lap bell goes from 4:16.2. 1 lap to go. We're expecting hopefully under the 17 seconds for this final lap.
Yeah. .433. He'll be happy with that. And that's going to factor down to a little bit quicker than that. So I think the C5s have got the work cut out to get down to that kind of time.
Very, very impressive from Archie Atkinson there. 4:33.4.
Nicely
As
measured
John
ride as well.
Yeah,
I think really nicely measured ride there. He had his game plan and he stuck to it. I'm not sure whether the catches helped him. I don't think they did, riding around him that many times. It always impacted on his splits negatively when he caught him. So I don't think. I think he probably would have gone a bit quicker if he hadn't have had to do the amount of catches that he had there. Top ride.
Top ride indeed. And Nicholas Fairfield has just finished his ride. Time of 5:19.647. We will wait for the factored times there for the C4s. And our remaining 4 heats are all going to be from C5 riders, so they will know what they've got to aim for. It'll be slightly quicker than what we've just seen. The 4:33.4 from Archie Atkinson will get factored down ever so slightly. There we go. Confirmation of the screen there of the times so far for the men's individual pursuit. This is the C4 to C5 category. All these 3 riders are all C4 riders. Archie Atkinson stand out there, head and shoulders above everybody else at the 4:33. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, good ride. I think we'll see him go below 4.5 minutes pretty soon, I think.
Nicholas Fairfield in the back stretch from the City Road Club is factor time 5:16.163.
4:30 as a factor time there.
We know we're going to rise to the C5 category. These times are unfactored, so the actual time you see at the conclusion of the line is the time that will be fed into the results system. First to go, representative.
So we've got a 4:30.7 for Archie Atkinson as his factor time, and a 4:16.1 for Nicholas Fairfield for his factor time. Thank
Blaine,
you
can see
for
there.
having better ears than me. Here we go.
Blaine sat there looking like a rock star on the.
As always.
Yeah. Bruce Springsteen.
So our remaining heats now are all C5 riders. This is Mark Valentine representing Paul Wheeler's Cycling Club. He'll be on his own, unfortunately, with an odd number of riders for the C5 category, as in the C4. The remaining heats will have 2 riders per heat, but Mark has got to go alone, unfortunately.
Yeah, the final ride will be an interesting one. Bergie there, he's always capable of putting down a good performance against Alex Jones as well there. That could be an interesting one. Blaine's super strong, but he's more of a sprinter, really, so good to see what he can do as well.
So Mark Valentine here. The first of our C5 riders, of course, 100% of his time will stand. It's a time of 4:30, a factor time of 4:30 of Archie Atkinson, which is the time to beat.
Yeah, and this is the category that I was in when I was racing, so it's really interesting to see how these guys are going. This was this was my event really. So.
How does it feel here, being at the Nationals, watching other people compete in your event and not being competing yourself?
I'll ask you the same as well.
I've got in first with the question.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really exciting to see my friends race, and yeah, I'll be watching the times with interest. I've put some good times down on this, so I think if they go quicker than I've been, I'll be thinking, oh. But yeah, as long as it depends on the performance level really. But it's always nice to be in and around racing. And I think the young talent coming through as well is really good to see. So it's the likes of Archie there putting that performance down was great. So
I think it's exciting to see fast times when you've been so embedded in an event yourself, training day in, day out. You're so sort of used to seeing those splits, seeing those kilo splits, those lap splits. I always really enjoy sort of seeing people better those performances just at the sort of a fan's point of view.
Yeah.
You know quite how good it is.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think, to see progression in the sport's really important, isn't it? It's good, isn't it? Yeah, it's great to be here as a fan now.
Mark Valentine still got 11 laps to go here, so not quite at the halfway point yet.
Yeah, again, lonely place for Mark there. He's got some lap splits, luckily for him, which is, I think it makes a big difference.
Encouragement there from the coach track side, as you say. Contrast to the lonely ride that Wayne Harrod had earlier for the very first heat of this competition, which was completely on his own with no coach to pull, unfortunately. But Mark Valentine has got that.
I think his lap splits are 3 or 4 seconds slower than we saw in the previous heat. It's funny, isn't it? Because if you are rapid at this event, you're spending 30 seconds less time on the bike, so you've got an incentive to just smash it and get out of the way, because if you're spending 5 minutes in the hurt locker, it's a long time.
Certainly is. 5 minutes 39 for poor Wayne Harrod in that first heat. It's a very long effort. It's
funny as well, because when you are absolutely flying in, where you're really on form, it's so much easier than if you're not on form and you're struggling through the race. like you say, where your mind goes to. If you're really on point, you almost zone out and you just deliver the performance.
Yeah, when you feel on top of the gear choice is right for the conditions, for the temperature, for the air pressure, and you just know everything is going as you wanted it to go.
Absolutely.
That's a nice feeling. So we'll see how many laps Mark Valentine has got to go this time when he comes around into the home straight. So the lap board will say 5 laps to go this time. So he is approaching that final kilometre. Still getting support from the crowd here each lap.
Yeah, you just got to watch his line there. He's a little bit sort of wobbly around the corners, up and down over the line. So he really needs to focus on staying on that black line.
I've just seen Blaine Hunt do some press-ups in the track centre. I almost can't believe my eyes.
Doesn't surprise me from Blaine, it's funny, isn't it?
Why not? 3 laps to go here now for Mark Valentine.
Yeah, he's a great character, isn't he, Blaine, for British cycling. Did you do press-ups before you did a pursuit?
I never did, and if he wins, I will.
That was a secret all
say
along.
that was it. So well done. I mean, why not? He's going to be in not our next heat, but the one after. But he's currently sat near the start line, waiting his turn. Blaine Hunt. We will point him out when he's up on the track. But just doing a few cheeky press-ups there.
As you do, yeah.
As you do.
Bit of intimidation for...
yeah, I mean, I'm sure that would work.
Yeah, for Sam Davis there.
So final lap now for Mark Valentine. Let's see this finish time. And it is a 5:12.910. So that concludes heat number 3. Heat number 4, our next rider's up on the track. We will have 2 riders this time, both C5 riders. It is going to be Christopher Scott versus Finley Webb.
Still to come will be the men's team sprint semi-finals at the conclusion of this men's individual pursuit. And we'll have our rapid victory ceremonies for all the disciplines.
Seeing some replay shots there from Mark Valentine's ride. And the bike is getting put in the start gate now for heat number 4. These are our times so far. So Archie Atkinson leads. It was a 4:33, which is the original time. Factor time of a 4:30. So that is the target to aim for all our C5 riders that are still to come. And we've got a lot of fans in the house here for Christopher Scott, who's coming up to the bike now.
Yeah, popular guy.
Christopher Scott here in the home straight for Le Cole Racing Team. Back straight is Finley Webb representing Exeter Wheelers. Ten seconds to go now. We are underway. Big cheers from the crowds here in the home straight. Always love to see them getting behind all of these riders here.
Christopher quite a bit quicker out of the blocks there.
Yeah, quick start there.
A lot quicker, actually.
Both riders here off to a great start.
I mean, Christopher's quick. It's a good start. He's got a good position there, again. Just turning the pedals round nice and smoothly. Again, with this being a longer 4K race, this weather is measured, that fast start with how the back end of the race will be. If he has, then he'll be on for a good time here.
Dipping under the 5-minute mark, is that the sort of the first target to aim for when you're training for a 4-kilometre pursuit?
I think, I suppose to be competitive in the category, I think 4:40 really. Okay. So yeah, I think that's what you're after, getting down to the 4:40 and under. And Christopher's just come.
There's Christopher Scott with the full fan club here at the National Cycling Centre. Really, really love to see it. And he is gaining on his opponent, Finley Webb. You can just see in this shot now, he won't quite have him in his sights yet, but Scott very much up at the moment with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, he's a long way up, isn't he?
And he will now have Webb in his sights down that back straight. Scott onto an absolute flyer here. Not even halfway through this race at the moment, just coming down the home straight now. Very much chasing down.
Strong rider.
Now down the back straight, about to make this catch. Looks like it's going to happen in the bankings. They're going very wide here.
Still a long way to go as well, with 8 laps to go. So Finley Webb's really suffering there now.
Potential for a second catch though, because that was halfway.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough ask, but it very much depends on the pacing of Christopher Scott and Finley Webb respectively. Scott has just gone through with his 7 laps to go there. I'm just looking at the line on the track. Is it going quite wide there in the straights? Just going up above the red there. Now, these are the moments where you can have the best aero position in the world, but you want to also still be running the shortest distance around the track. So just looking at trying to focus on that black line, particularly in the bankings.
Absolutely. I think this is the tricky thing when you do get tired as well towards the back end of the pursuit. It is a lot harder to hold that black line. Yeah. It takes a lot of practice. So, yeah, Christopher Scott's going a long way around the corner, really, right up to the red line there.
Going ever so slightly further each lap, but now inside that final kilometre here for Christopher Scott.
And Christopher's a good 20 seconds slower than the fastest so far over 3K there. So that said, he might break the 5-minute barrier, like you say.
He's not quite got Finn Webb in his sights yet, but he is gaining on him. It is less than half a lap separating these two riders now. Just as he exits the banking, Webb is entering the next one.
And this catch, the last catch here, will really help him out, I think. Just whether your legs are getting tired and you get that little bit of a benefit, someone to chase and a little bit of slipstream there as well. That's ideal for him.
Final lap now, second catch is made, round the outside, down the back straight now, final lap, 4:37 there with half a lap to go. But let's see what this final time is. It is going to break the 5-minute barrier, and it is a 4:45.870.
That's a really good ride from Christopher Scott there. I think with some more work, especially with his line and other bits and pieces, he's certainly strong enough to. Well, he's got plenty of room for improvement there. That was a really good performance. I think his fans, they're all out in force. They know it, don't they? They know he's got plenty of potential.
Final lap now for Finley Webb. We'll get his finish time to you. It's a 5:19.814.
Yeah, Finley went off quick there and had a long old race afterwards.
So that was the end of heat number 4. Just hearing from Chris Scott's fan club here in the home straight, they're just a block away from us in the stands. So he's in second place now overall with a 4:45.8. Archie Atkinson time still leads with 4:33. That will be a factor time of 4:30, of course.
So be expecting that in the next heat, Blaine should be pretty quick. I think we should see sub 4:40 from Blaine, I'd expect. He's not doing any more press-ups.
Yeah, well, Blaine Hunt is the rider that's about to start in the home straight, and I did see him sat here a few moments ago doing some press-ups.
And there he is as well. He's sat next to
line.
William Bergfeld there. Bergie's got his race face on there, looking serious.
Coach Helen Scott in the back straight with the most fantastic leggings of the day, with rider Samuel Davis.
So Samuel, if he's been coached by Scotty, then I'd expect him to put a good performance out here.
It's David Daniel who's the coach in the home straight, so plenty of ex-riders now part of the coaching staff.
He's a decent rider, wasn't he?
Yeah. Countdown is on, just approaching that final 10 seconds now.
Interesting to see how fast Blaine goes off, because he's obviously sprint-wise he's absolutely rapid. So we'll have the option of, well, he can go off quick, but it'll still be well within him. That's the sort of benefit of having lots of top end.
Certainly. So when you've got that ability to start very fast, you know, you rein that into what is slow for you, so you're well within your capacity.
Exactly. Yeah, slow for you, but still absolutely rapid for everyone else. He's got a great position as well there, Blaine, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He was silver yesterday in the kilometre time chart behind Jody Cundy. He did a 1:05 there for the kilo yesterday, so he's definitely on good form this weekend. But
super quick laps, super quick lap splits there as well. So really interesting with Blaine here is riding really quick lap splits to see how the sort of overall distance of the pursuit affects him. In the meanwhile, Sam Davis has set off on a much more steadily with a lap split there that he's obviously working to with Scotty on the other side. He'll be planning to ride to the end at that pace, whereas I assume Blaine would be expecting a natural drop-off just because of the type of rider he is now. So yeah, Blaine's just going a bit slower now, but still quick.
Blaine Hunt has Sam Davis in his sights, just going down the back straight there. We can see there's less than a quarter of a lap separating these two riders. So as we come into the home straight, Blaine will certainly be able to see his opponent. But as you say, this is his strength, this early part of the race. So he really needs that character chase later on, perhaps. Of course, you can't affect the opponent. You can't tell them how fast to go. But
no,
but expecting a fast start.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming towards the half distance, and he's not dropped off at all yet, and he's sat there with that little bit of a benefit of the slipstream. So yeah, he's doing really well.
Here we go, and the catch is made down the back straight. Blaine Hunt all the way around Sam Davis there, back down to the black line very quickly. So nicely done, despite the fact that a lot of that took place in the banking, but he's now back on the black line.
That's it, that's half distance for Blaine now. So if he can keep his composure and keep his position and really just keep on top of that gear and smooth, then he can have a really good ride here. Again, 16.6, it's really quick. It's a great ride for him.
Yes, they're still maintaining those sub-17 second laps. This is that kilo 3 of 4 now that we're in, so past that halfway mark. You'll see 6 laps to go this time.
I think as well, you've got William Bergfeld next in the category as well, so this is putting Bergie under some pressure really as well in terms of his performance, because he won't, well, I don't think he'll be expecting this performance from Blaine, because Blaine's going to be, if he can keep this to the end, he's going to be really competitive.
And we can see William Bergfeld in the track centre, and I've just seen him there having a very close look at the scoreboard, waiting to see those splits. So very much paying attention to Blaine Hunt's time here.
I think as well for Blaine, he's known, well, mainly known for the kilo, but with Jody in the category as well, and it being a factored race, it's tricky for him for selection for the game. So maybe he's worked on the pursuit to have that as another sort of string to his bow, if you like, because if he could go to the games and he could compete at this as well, then that makes him probably more selectable as well.
Yeah, very strong for selection choices there if you've got those multiple events. So he's been through 3 laps to go. He's not going to have another catch. He was able to catch Sam Davis early on. Coming around now for 2 laps to go for Blaine Hunt.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked, to be honest. This is a really good ride. Like, superb from Blaine.
Press-ups beforehand in track centre.
I know.
Really, that's
Who
the
would
key.
have thought
Who'd have thought it?
Bergie, do some press-ups quick. I mean, this is a brilliant ride, you know. I mean, I assume he knew he was going to do this, but big surprise.
Final half lap now. Just trying to hug that black line. Let's see what the time is on the line. 4:33.984. Wow, wow, wow.
Flipping heck, Blaine. Well done, mate. That's absolutely rapid. That's a brilliant performance by Blaine. I think he'll have put, you know, the in the C5 category. Obviously, he's not in the lead on factoring, but that's a tough ask for the last couple of riders. I think, yeah, he's really put Bergie under pressure there. He's going to have to go out really quick and sit on that pace. I think, like we were saying there with Blaine, he was able to go off quick, but within himself as well, because he's got so much top end, and then his positioning and then his sort of discipline in terms of his performance was absolutely spot on. You know, we'd probably expect a drop off because he's a sprinter,
Yeah.
and he just didn't. And the other thing with it as well is that, you know, if he can do that, if he was racing someone as well at a similar pace, he's probably got more in there. So
yeah, he had the catch, obviously, so that wasn't going to happen again
no,
in that 4K, but I think we're all very impressed with that pursuit. Pre-pursuit press-ups.
yeah, I mean, that was a really good performance. Well done.
William Bergfelt here, running for Aero Coach, about to get up on the track for heat number 6, our final heat of the men's individual pursuit for the C4 to 5.
And one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet as well, by the way. It's lovely.
So pressure is on. He's just seen a 4:33 go on the board from Blaine Hunt in the heat before him. Too late now to change anything. You know, your bike is ready, your gear is set, the training is done, the warm-up's done.
He'll be able to adjust his lap splits to with his coach. I don't know who's doing his lap splits there, but whoever that is will be able to pace him round to beat the 4:30. But it'll all be down to whether he can keep the lap splits, as to whether he'll be able to do that 4:33 or less.
So we've got Alex Jones in the back straight here for our final heat.
Again, Jones has got Alex has got a lot of top end, and he's a really good rider. So I'd expect Alex to have a faster start maybe than Bergie, but I think Bergfelt, once he gets into his ride, is likely to be quicker.
The last few heats is not all about how you start. We've had a few riders start fast out the blocks and then not be able to hold on to their pace. So interesting to see how this one starts out.
Graphics slightly out on the screen there, but we will look at the typing venue here.
I noticed William Bergfeld's not got anyone pacing him here. All right.
He's got a coach walking the line rather than
got
using
ya.
the iPad.
Got ya.
method. So William Bergfelt coming around now. You could just see that coach has taken a couple of steps down, indicating that he's down on the pace he's said that he wants to go. So for anybody not familiar with pursuiting, you can quite easily work out if you want to ride 4:33 overall, what that will be per lap. It's not a straight divide by 16 because, of course, the first lap is going to be slower with a standing start, but you can factor in how much your first lap is going to be slower, then divide the remaining time by the 15 laps and work out the desired lap pace. So most riders will be very sort of clear on what their first lap is likely to be.
Absolutely, you can see that.
Adjust.
You can see that with his coach standing on the line there that he's on pace now.
Yeah.
To start with, he was just slightly down on the pace, so his coach sort of beckoned him to push on a little bit, and now he's absolutely smack on the pace that he's aiming for. So again, he's just dropped off ever so slightly, so he needs to push back on again. But he is quicker than Alex Jones as expected, but Alex is very quick himself, though he's not a million miles off.
So all to play for this 4 kilometres. 4:33.9 was the time of Blaine Hunt, but a factor time of 4:30 for Archie Atkinson.
So yeah, I think if Bergfeldt looking to go through 3K in around about 3:25, and we'll know he's on pace at that.
So Bergfeldt coming around now, 7 laps to go. Coach is taking 1 step down on the line, so that means 1/10 of a second down on pace for that lap.
So he's slightly off pace. It's going to be tight, this. Looks super smooth though on his bike. Great position.
So we're keeping close eye on the coaches here and the lap splits, which is always really interesting in individual pursuits. So again, 1 step down that lap, 1/10 down on the desired pace. And of course, the feedback you get from your coach when you've got this method is always half a lap delayed. So the coach will take the timing as the rider goes over the pursuit line in the back straight.
That's it.
So then when they walk the line, it's slightly delayed.
It can get frustrating if you aren't on pace and you're being told to squeeze on and you can't.
Yeah.
It's always tricky, isn't it? And towards the back end of a pursuit, it can be really frustrating because to press on the pedals and to get that speed back is just harder and harder as the race goes on.
3 laps remaining. Just an indication that he was on pace there for William Bergfeldt. Very much all to play for these overall times here. So very excited to see how these last 2 laps of racing will go. This is it, final 500 metres. A little bit of encouragement there from the coach. Not walking the line anymore. Too late now to adjust the pacing. It's just all about emptying the tank at this stage. Bell this time for William Bergfeldt. Final lap of racing, and he's on a 4:18 so far, so he'll be just outside the time.
Yeah, he's looking about 4:35, 4:36, isn't he, I think? So it'll be disappointing that for William Bergfeldt. Yeah. And a good ride for Alex Jones as well, 4:37. Yeah, that's a great ride, actually.
Very impressive ride, yeah, breaking that 4:40 barrier. 4th place overall there for Alex Jones. 3rd place overall for William Bergfeldt. Just seeing the replays here of the last few laps. So we had our eyes very closely on William Bergfeldt, seeing if he could better the time of Blaine Hunt, and Alex Jones, meanwhile, doing a 4:37, so very impressive.
And definitely the surprise of the day with Blaine Hunt. That's really good. That's great performance for him, and really showing what he can do in the pursuit.
So the men's individual pursuit for category C4 to C5 was won by Archie Atkinson. His factor time giving him the win with a 4:30. Beating Blaine Hunt into silver and William Bergfeldt into bronze. Alex Jones there taking the 4th place also with a sub 4:40 rise. So we've seen some very impressive times there from the individual pursuit there.
Yeah,
from the men.
very exciting for those guys going to the World Championships with those performances.
And as you were saying, perhaps not tapering for this competition at the Nationals, knowing you've got the Worlds relatively soon.
Absolutely.
Wanting a still good race day performance,
Yeah.
but not a full taper.
Absolutely, yeah, and get the training benefit of the race as well, which is, with the World Championships a couple of weeks ago away in Rio. I think, it's a great opportunity for the riders to get a gauge on where they're at, but also to get the training benefit as well.
Got 4 semi-final heats.
So next up is the men's team sprint semi-final. So we had the qualifying round earlier on this morning. We have got 8 teams that have progressed to our semi-final. Our finals will be this evening. But now we have 4 heats for the men's team sprint semi-final. Fastest 2 winning teams will race for gold and silver, with the other 2 winning teams racing for the bronze. Then those that lose their heats, they'll be classified from 5th to 8th according to their time. So basically, you need to win your heat, and you need to win it pretty fast if you then want to be racing for the gold. But we're really looking at who wins out of all these heats here. 4 heats in total, 8 teams. Our 4 winners will be the 4 that will race for the medals. Later on this evening, our racing this evening starting at 6 p.m. We will be live for the entire evening session as well. But this is our final event of the morning session. I'm aware we're almost at 3 o'clock, so I'm using the term morning very loosely here, but officially still in the morning session here, with heat number 1 of the men's team sprint semi-final coming up now. It is the Eastlands Velo Manchester A team, who we're seeing on your screens at the moment. They will be up against the Wales Racing Academy.
Yeah, so the local Manchester team there on the track, so get the benefit of the home track and the local support as well. And with Matthew Rotherham to bring them home.
Matthew Rotherham, quite a legend of track cycling in general, multiple world champion as a tandem pilot. He will be for the Eastlands Velo Manchester team, who are in the back straight in the blue and green kit. Home straight, we've got the Wales Racing Academy. Right in the start gate is Jonah Jenkins for Wales. Oh, slight slip out the gate there for Wales, but we continue going very much underway here.
Yeah, that's giving the Manchester team an advantage there, very definitely.
And it's the Manchester team with the faster opening half lap. We're coming around for this 1 lap split this time, and Manchester are still in the lead by almost half a second. Lap and a half complete now, coming around for the 500-metre mark this time. And you can see it is the Eastlands Velo Manchester team still in the lead. Final lap of racing now.
Matthew Rotherham just really powering on to bring it home here.
And it is Eastlands Velo Manchester A finishing first with a time of 45.486 compared to 46.0. So they will progress to the finals later on this evening. We'll wait to see if it's to race for the gold or the bronze, but they will be up in the finals.
Yeah, good ride from them. Just that slip at the beginning there, costing the Welsh team. Matthew waving to the home crowd there.
And we are continuing rapidly on, already seeing the team Enhanced getting their bike in the start gate. It is Bo Mayer, who's going to be our P1 for Enhanced. In the back street, it will be Glasgow Track Racing Club. So if the P1 get their bike in the gate first, then 2 and 3 are wheeled up to the line by the coaches. once the commissaires are happy that both bikes are in the start gate, they will raise the flag indicating the start down clock is ready to start. It's currently on 50 seconds because we don't have our bike in the back straight already in the gate. So we're just waiting on that for the Glasgow Track Racing Club. Enhanced are ready to go in the home straight here. A few of these teams have got 4 riders registered for this competition, so able to make a switch between rounds if they so desire. Of course, 3 on the track at any one time. We're into our final 20 seconds now before the start of the race. We'll hear those beeps from 10 seconds. Cleanly out the gate there for Enhanced in the home straight. Just seeing the back straight here, Glasgow Track Racing Club. Nicely together at the moment, both P1s just bringing out a little bit of a gap over P2, but that's okay, that's to be expected. We expect them to rush into this gap as they finish that first lap.
Real quick start there from Team Enhanced there.
Enhanced are in the lead after 1 lap. We're well into lap 2 now. We will bring you that split as soon as we get at the 500 metres. And once again, Enhanced are leading by over a second, 1.2 seconds they lead by. Into the final lap now. We will wait to see what finishing time it is. Enhanced is still leading by over a second, coming around all the way to the line now. What can Enhanced do? 45.595. So just slower than the time set in the first heat for Easton's Velo Manchester.
Yeah, very close to the Manchester team's time.
And we're now ready with heat 3 coming out onto the track already. Just seeing some replays from heat number 2 on your screens now. But we are rattling through these semi-finals here for the men's team sprint. In the home straight here, we have Team Inspired 2. Just coming out onto the track now. And it is Harry Radford here, who we're looking like we're going to have in the gate this time. We saw Joe Truman in the gate for the qualifying heat. So slight change in lineup. Always good to keep things interesting. Flag has gone up, so we are ready in the home straight with the bike in the gate. Once the back straight bike is ready to go, the countdown clock will begin. Back straight is going to be the Black Line team, which we've spoken so fondly about this weekend already after Peter Mitchell's win in the men's sprint yesterday. Very, very popular win.
So Peter back on his bike again to be man 3 on their team.
He's had a busy day because he's been coaching riders as well and taking riders up to the line.
Absolutely, he's going to need a
As a
rest
coach,
after this
yeah.
weekend, isn't he?
And our countdown clock has started. This is Team Inspired 2 in the home straight here that you're seeing. Back straight. This is Black Line. It's not as shown on the screen there.
So the starting order in the home straight for Team Inspired. The gate is Harry Radford, then 2 Marcus Hine, then 3 is Jesse Truman.
See that green Hope Lotus bike.
Yeah, Joe Truman up there in P3 this time. I love the distinctive bike.
Yeah, it's great.
Into our final 10 seconds now. If you win this heat, you're through to race a medal race. We're underway, clean starts from both teams there, no slips out the start gate, and it is a rapid start by Team Inspired. You can see their P1 is just a couple of bike lengths ahead of their P2 as they go down the back straight. It's a 10.9 opening half. That is incredibly fast. Let's see this first lap split this time.
17.8.
17.8 for Team Inspired, 1.7 seconds down for Blackline at the moment.
So quick.
Approaching the 500-meter mark this time, and it is Team Inspired that still lead by over 2 seconds over Blackline. Final lap now, Joe Truman for Team Inspired 2, coming round down the home straight now, ready to lunge to the line. Let's see that finish time, 43.569.
So a couple of seconds quicker than the other round so far, so absolutely flying. That start was unbelievable.
Super impressive start there from Team Inspired 2. Harry Radford in the gate that time. Joe Truman up to P3. He was P1 in the initial qualifying heat. So mixing things up there, keeping it interesting for all involved. And we have one final heat to go. So we know that Team Inspired 2 will be in that gold medal race because they have won their heat and they have the fastest of all of our winners so far.
We've got the hard decision as to who to put in man one for the final. And
yes, exactly. So it's nice to have the options within the team to make those switches. Tactical choices, who you want in which position. If you've got to ride 3 rounds of team sprinting as P3, that's a big day out.
yeah,
3 laps each time. So heat number 4 is coming up onto the track now.
So on that form, Team Inspired, team number 1, your favourites here to give us an all-Team Inspired final.
so is Team Inspired 2 as quick as Team Inspired 1?
This is the question. So we have Ed Lowe, Hayden Norris and Harry Ledingham-Horn. So all very exciting young riders here. 20 seconds to go, looking very relaxed at the moment on the start line. There we go. We are underway. The Who BCC racing team in the back straight, Team Inspired number 1 in the home straight. Let's look out for that first half lap split as we get on the back straight. It is a 10.6 for Team Inspired 1. Big gaps opening up there for the Who BCRT2 as they go down the back straight to complete lap 1, and they are 1.5 seconds down. A 17.4 opening lap for Team Inspired 1 there. Coming around for the end of lap 2 now, completing the 500 metres. We've got more than a 2-second gap between these teams. Team Inspired powering on now. Final lap here for Harry Ledingham-Horn, already on fantastic form this week. What
Absolutely
time can he
flying.
post right at the end here? And it is a 43.221.
Even quicker.
Even quicker. So it will be Team Inspired number 1 versus Team Inspired number 2 for the gold medal final.
That's going to be fantastic.
3 tenths separating the 2 teams, so barely anything over the 3 laps. And then we will have the Eastonsville Manchester A versus the Glasgow Track Racing Club for the bronze medal. And it is a 1/10 of a second separating those 2 teams. So 2 very exciting finals to come up later on this evening.
Really great ride from the Team Inspired number 1.
And as for the run right, well, the fastest next winning teams are ESV Manchester versus Enhancer for the bronze medal. Subject to final classification.
So that concludes our racing here this morning, morning. We do have 4 victory ceremonies to come though. Total of 9 titles to be given out today. 4 of them will be awarded coming up next as we get ready for our victory ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the 2024 British Cycling National Track Championships. Para Women's Pursuit, C1 to C5. The medals and gifts will be presented by General Manager of the National Cycling Centre, Tony Rood. Winner of the bronze medal, representing Loughborough Lightning, Morgan Newbury. Winner of the silver medal, representing Loughborough Student Cycling Club, Amelia Cass. Winner of the gold medal and national track champion, representing Dimasio, Daphne Schrager. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate your medalists.
A result and a start list there. In 3, 2, 1, go track and go car.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the 2024 British Cycling National Track Championships. Para Men's Pursuit, category C1 to C2. The medals and gifts will be presented by the Head of Sport at British Cycling, Ant Gill. Winner of the bronze medal, riding as a private member, Callum Du Bois. Winner of the silver medal, representing Ilkeston Cycling Club, Ryan Taylor. Winner of the gold medal and national track champion, representing Woolwich Cycling Club, Matthew Robertson. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate your medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the 2024 British Cycling National Track Championships. Para Men's Pursuit, category C3. The medals and gifts will be presented by General Manager of the National Cycling Centre, Tony Rudd. Winner of the bronze medal, riding as a private member, Jacob Smith. Winner of the silver medal, representing Para T, Jacco van Gas. Winner of the gold medal and national track champion, representing Para T, Finlay Graham. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate your medalists.
Okay, everyone, we've got one more ceremony to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the 2024 British Cycling National Track Championships. Para Men's Pursuit, category C4 to C5. The medals and gifts will be presented by Head of Sport at British Cycling, Ant Gill. Winner of the bronze medal, representing Aero Coach, William Bergfeldt. Winner of the silver medal, representing Para-T, Blaine Hunt. Winner of the gold medal and national track champion, representing Para-T, Archie Atkinson. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate your medalists.
Yeah, let's take Carl out straight.
So thank you everybody for joining us this morning for Day 2 of the National Track Championships here in Manchester. We will be back live with action from 6 p.m. Actually, we'll be going live from 5:45 p.m. this evening for more of Day 2 action here at the National Track Championships. We've got a further 6 titles to be awarded. We've got the women's individual pursuit for the tandems, women's individual pursuit on the solo bikes as well, men's individual pursuit on the tandems, men's points race, which we saw the qualifiers of this morning, men's team sprint finals and the women's sprint finals. So lots of action that you do not want to miss. This evening we will be live for absolutely all of it. You'll be able to join us on the British Cycling YouTube. Get involved on social media as well with the hashtag TrackChamps, and do let us know if you've got any questions. So thank you very much for joining us today. I will be back later on this evening. Can't wait to have you join us again.
I am Sajjad and I am limitless. I love cycling because it gives me the platform to compete against my peers at the same level and give me the chance to explore places I wouldn't normally go to. If you haven't picked up your bike in a long time, go up and pick it up. The euphoria and the great feeling that you'll get and the freedom you'll feel is just one of a kind. Introducing Limitless, the British Cycling, Disability and Paracycling Programme. More clubs, more facilities, more opportunities for disabled riders.
Most of us have been brought up with the idea that we live in a society that's got to protect us when things go wrong. And it's a real hard landing when people realise that they're not going to get the kind of support that they had always assumed was there for them. Lead A was always set up to take on David and Goliath kind of battles, and we're all really keen to provide as much help as we can to those who need it.